Hello, everybody. So, today something came to me in the service that I thought, kind of interesting that I wanted to share. And it ties in with something that I've been learning about in my psychology of perception class. And it deals with the idea that different aspects of a person's perception can be tuned in some ways. You can, based on attention, sort of focus in on certain. I'm not really sure the best way to explain it, but it will change how receptive your senses are to different things and how much, basically, it will tune the actual receivers in your senses to be more sensitive, less sensitive, things like that, and can increase the acuity of your senses and your ability to perceive the world. Now, what came to my mind during service today is that when I apply this sort of concept to spiritual things, the idea that attention can sort of, what's the word for it? Attention can tune your awareness to some things and away from other things. And it came to me to kind of switch it away from the human centric and put it like a radio antenna. And the reason being, I think this is most appropriate in terms of spiritual things, is that it's possible to have things come through completely garbled with an antenna. And if it comes through completely garbled, that just means that you're not tuned in to any frequency in particular. You're just picking up the random static of dead air. But if you make the internal adjustments to the antenna itself, over time you may scan the frequencies and then be able to pick up signals that are intelligible to you in a lot of ways. So when you think about this in terms of spirituality, you could almost say that the default, when you just turn it on, dead air, is atheism. Everything is random, it's garbled, it's no real rhyme or reason to it. It just sort of goes and sort of is just unintelligible. And so listening to that unintelligibleness and then hearing other people say, oh, but we found these messages and stuff like that. What the atheist sometimes might get the impression you're saying is, I'm listening to dead air and I'm hearing music. But that's not really what's happening. There's an internal adjustment tuning a person in to the spiritual in one fashion or another, picking up specific signals that are intelligible to the human being, because we are spiritual creatures. We are made to be able to do this. And what we are tuned into is going to depend on the internal conditions of our heart. So we can put ourselves out of tune with things like the spiritual entirely into atheism, or we can start scanning frequencies, finding God would be the opposite of that, would be fullness of truth. But there's a whole lot that's in between those that we sort of have to work through and find, well, where exactly is the truth. But the main point being, you can't really figure it out just by listening to the dead air. You have to make the internal adjustments and actually scan one at a time and just go through until you find, I'm not really sure the right way to explain it, the resonance of truth, I guess. I hope this was a blessing to you. God be with you.